All right, gentlemen. So the reason I made this chat today was yesterday, kid, he asked me a question on Messenger, and I said, you know what, this is like I think it would have been too much to type, and I felt it would be something better to ask, like in a conversation. And then I figure you might as well throw on other people because I assume they have questions as well, which uh, you ended up having a question as well. So my assumption was right. So go ahead, kid. Uh, like, what's your specific question that you had?
So my question was what your thoughts were on the Tesla stock and the future of it, because I honestly think that like its competitors, there's no like it outdoes its competitors, and I see it being in the long term. So I think it's going to be like a potential like $3,000 stock or whatever. So I was considering buying it at 800, knowing that my gut is telling me it's going to reach that level, like a $300 stock. But I was just seeing what other people were thinking about it.
Yeah, so I'm very bullish on the Tesla stock. Again, for those who don't know, bullish means like I'm optimistic on the outlook of it in the near term and the long term. The issues with it is that it's very volatile and it's very popular. So what happens with popular stocks is that they fly up. So in a little bit, we'll go through, the history of the stock, what the stock has done. I'm sure you've seen it, but this is for whoever hasn't seen it. But I do agree with you. If you're looking at it on a 5-year term, I do believe the stock in a bearish scenario. So bearish means the opposite of optimistic. So more of a pessimistic view on it would be like a $3,000. In a in a bullish mindset, I'm thinking more of like even up to $7,000 stock. And it sounds crazy, but when Amazon was 87 cents a share, and then it jumped to 400 cents a share, and then it jumped to 800 cents a share, $800 a share. People were thinking, oh, this is crazy. And now they're looking at the stock at 2,000, almost $500, and they think it's a fair valuation. And I think Tesla's the same way. Tesla, like you said, it's not just about competitors, because it's not competing with just competitors in one market. It's competing with different markets all at the same time. I think the next few days, especially today, it's going to fly up because of the SpaceX launch. A lot of people think that SpaceX falls under Tesla, and that's not true. That's not a true statement. Elon Musk founded both of them, but they're both two separate entities. SpaceX is not a public traded company. If it were to go publicly traded, it would be separate from Tesla. So Tesla would be a stock, and SpaceX would be a separate stock. So people that don't know that, who didn't know that out of you guys, who thought that SpaceX fell under Tesla? It doesn't. Elon Musk founded both of them. He was one of the founders of Tesla, and he founded by himself SpaceX, but they're both two separate entities altogether. So a lot of people are going to put them all in one basket and buy more Tesla because they saw SpaceX send a mission up, and they think that SpaceX falls on Tesla. So what I'll do right now, quickly, let me share. Where is it? Share screen, and then do whiteboard. Open this up. Let me add text. So what I'll do right here is I'll just quickly write what does fall under Tesla. All right, so first would be a company called DeepScale. The second would be Solar City. The third is The fourth is high bar. And the fifth and final one is Maxwell. Maxwell Technologies. So the reason I'm so bullish on the stock is because of I look at these purchases that Tesla has made. They range from anywhere from 2012 to 2000, as like high bar was bought in 2019. So what Tesla does is that they don't just buy companies to buy companies. Google and Facebook have just bought companies, and they haven't done anything with a lot of the small companies that they have bought, because they just saw they were a good price, and they're like, you know what, this company is a good price, I'm just going to buy them. So Tesla doesn't do that. They're very forward thinking. So when they buy a company, is how does this company apply now, and how does it apply in the future? So every single one of these companies can help another company out. When the Model X and the Model 3 were behind in production, Elon Musk, being a great leader, and I look at him like a great leader. Whenever I evaluate a company, I always look at their leadership and how their leadership is, just like the Marine Corps. I think I've said that before. So I look at it like Elon Musk is like the commandant of Tesla, and what kind of leader is he? And from what I've seen, when I hear him speak, he speaks intelligently, and he knows he's not just a nut job. Same with Mark Zuckerberg. A lot of people don't like him because he's a young billionaire. But when I see him speak in front of Congress, like, he knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm also bullish on Facebook because I look at Mark Zuckerberg, and he's not just some snot-nosed kid who just became a billionaire. Like, he actually knows what he's talking about. So when I see videos of Elon Musk, and he's in the factories and he's yelling at his workers, and like, I just look at it like a motivated like sergeant or motivated gunnery sergeant, like blasting his staff, like, get to work. When they were behind in production, which I was saying a little bit earlier, what he did was he shut down a lot of these other companies and brought the workers from these other companies all to Tesla, to the car side of the equation. And even people who, like, their main job was solar panels, they were over here trying to put together a car, because like, that's the kind of mindset he has. Instead of these people wasting their time over there, he's going to bring them over here. Not only are they going to learn this side of the business, but they're more hands that can help us with production and producing stuff. And that's one reason I'm very bullish on it. Another reason is that he's attacking different industries. So he's not just focused on cars. A lot of people just look at it as a car company, but that's like, he's way forward thinking than that. When he's doing this, and he's getting into these different industries, is not just about, I want to be a competitor in this industry. Like, he wants to be top 3 or top 1, 2 in every single industry that they're attacking. So one industry he's going for is he's competing with Uber and Google's company Waymo for autonomous driving. So they're going to be in the future, they're currently the top 3 for autonomous driving. And what I mean by top 3 is that they have the most miles on the road with vehicles. Actually, here on Okinawa, I saw a Google vehicle driving by itself on the expressway next to me. There was nobody next. Like, I look at it, and there was this big thing spinning on top of it. It said Google on the sides. It was all white with green Google letters, and like, it looked like a ghost just flying right by me. This thing was speeding. And so they're out there. These cars are out there all over the world picking up information. And what Tesla is still ahead of them. Not only does he have more hours than everybody else, but his technology for tracking what every single car is doing is ahead of everybody else. Another thing that's big for Tesla is their batteries. So all these companies together, like, you have Solar City, who deals with energy, and then you have a company like Maxwell Technologies, who's currently working with Panasonic in Nevada. And even Panasonic has said that their demand for the Tesla type of battery is at an all-time high. The battery day is going to come up soon, And like, even though Tesla's already ahead of the competition, like 3 years ahead on batteries with the competition, like it's already like a known fact that this year when they come out, it's going to be a longer lasting battery and a battery that takes less time to charge. So, you know, depending on what their competition has accomplished over the last year, like Tesla might even now be 4 or 5 years ahead of their competition. Um, and these are just like I said, all these companies here that I've listed, they all feed off each other. They all help each other out in some form or one way or another. Um, so yes, I feel that I'm very bullish on this stock. Hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna share. Let me open this up. While I'm doing this, do you have anybody else have any questions?
I had some questions about gold, sir.
Okay.
Just basic gold stocks.
Well, gold is easy. Can you guys see the website? All right. All right. So right here, it closed on Friday at 8:30. I'm gonna get back to you, Britton. I'm not ignoring you. You still suck, but I'm just I'll get back to you. So it closed at 8:35. What I'm pulling up right now on my phone is what it currently is at pre-market. So pre-market, I'm not sure if you guys could see it, but it's at 8:53 pre-market. So it's up $18 in the pre-market. My wife is gonna buy it tonight, so she might buy up to 8 shares of it tonight. So she's gonna pay this price, and even though it may go down, like she doesn't really want to buy a little bit and then if it goes down, buy some more. Like she's just gonna buy it in there and wait on the long outlook. What? Yes. So she's gonna buy 8 shares tonight and not look at it for 3 years and see how this company does. We talked about it. I've told her everything I've told you guys about the company. Is this the only company I think is going to double or triple? No, but this one has the bigger moat. We've talked about moat before, and just that 3-year advance in the battery between its competitors is a big difference when you're talking about electric vehicles. Another thing we didn't talk about was that they're like I said, they're energy, right? So I think I told you guys before, they put in a bid in the United Kingdom to become their sole energy provider. That's a big deal. That would diversify their own portfolio within Tesla because it would make them an energy company as well. In California, they've already started offering car insurance. So you're on 14. 14. So they're offering car insurance right now in California. And that's a big deal. Like there's one market. What that also includes is like, it's going to offer discounts for having something like a Tesla. And their insurance is going to be ahead of the other insurance companies as well, because their insurance is going to offer certain type of technology that can offset and show the kind of driving that you're doing. And if you're a smart driver, you're going to have like you're driving slow, you're driving the speed limit, you're not getting speeding tickets. It's not just going to be something that like State Farm does where they'll just give you a check because you didn't get in an accident. Like theirs is going to be more specific, more real time. But anyway, let's go look at the year. So in 1 year, starting May 30th, 2019, the stock was 800. Press down, press enter, and then play. All right, hold up. Yeah, just take a look at that. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. All right, so as you can see, this it reached a high of 968 at one point, and it bottomed out when everything else bottomed out at 361. That's when it would have been great to jump in there, but
I bought a share that night.
this one for real.
I wish I put 2,000 in there though.
Yep, and now it's currently at 835. It's gonna have its peaks and valleys, but everyone knows Tesla now. It's a well-known name. Let me minimize this. All right. So, yeah, man. This revenue is only 24.58, but with everything they're doing, this company could easily jump from this straight to $1 trillion in the next few years with everything that they're doing. So their competition isn't really competition, basically, right now. The last thing I'll leave you with Tesla stock is that they're also not just restricted to America. Like, they have a relationship with Germany, they have a strong relationship with China, and that's not a small deal. That's a big deal. So does that answer your questions, kid? Hope I was specific enough.
It does, sir.
Yeah. Was that along the same lines of what you were thinking of?
Yes, like I just been thinking like that I might buy another share at 800, even though the last time I bought was like 300.
Yeah.
But when I look at it and down in the future, I'm like, does it really matter?
Yeah, because think about it. Even if it dropped to 500 in the future, just buy it again at 500. By then, hopefully, you'll have the 500 and just buy more then at that time. You know what I mean? I'm telling her to feed in little by little, but she doesn't want to play around with it. She just wants to do it once and then not look at it for a long time. So gold. So when you were talking about gold, Noah, Britton, are you referring to like ETFs, or are you referring to physical, like physical gold?
What exactly are ETFs?
So ETFs is what you've been investing in, is an exchange traded fund, like this one. So which one is the one that you've been? Is it this one, or is it GLDM, or?
Let's see.
But anyway, this is just a group of stocks that is all comprised into one, and you don't have to physically hold the gold. Like, you're holding a company that does gold. So it's like you're invested in gold without buying physical gold. Because right now a bar of gold is worth about $1,800. Just one. It's not a bar, it's literally a coin. That one coin is worth about $1,800. So instead of going and buying that one coin, you're investing in the company that produces that. So which company were you talking about specifically?
Right now I have JNUG, which is Direct on Daily Junior Gold Miners. Show.
So this one right here? Is this
Yes,
what?
sir.
All right, so be careful with this, man. So anytime you see anything that's 2x, that means it's 2 times leveraged. That means like it goes up or down on uh, based on it goes up and down double based on what the stock is doing. So let's look at a year of it. And so something happened here. I haven't researched the stock specifically, but something happened
They
here and it hasn't recovered from it. Before this, the
they did
stock, what's up?
they did a split order, or
Oh,
what was it? First order or something?
a reverse split or a split? Yeah, so okay, so that's the opposite of what happened with ACB. So ACB did a reverse split. That's why the stock went from 89 cents to $8.50 a share. So they did the opposite here. They all they did was they made one stock, multiple stocks. Right here looks like a 1-to-6 split. So they made 6 shares, 1 share into 6 shares. So basically, this is also known as diluting and just adding more shares into the world, um, which is not a great look for a company to do. Whenever they're doing a split, it's not a great look. Why are you looking at this company specifically?
This is just the first thing I found whenever I started investing.
Yeah, so yeah, man, get out of this one. Um, just because anytime I see anything that's 2 times leveraged, I just don't mess with it, man. I did it by mistake. I didn't know what it was. I just saw 3x one time, and I invested in a REIT, a real estate investment trust that was 3 times leveraged, and my $45 went to $0 in like a matter of like I think it was like 2 months. It just depleted, and that money's all gone now. So
Hmm.
anything that's 2 times leverage or anything like that, just be very, very careful with it. There is other stocks that are gold stocks that are, good. So uh, so this is another one. This is a Spider Gold mini shares trust. Um, this is basically a bunch of companies. This is what an ETF is basically a bunch of companies in this that deal with gold, and they're all in this one place that you can purchase. So the 1 year look for this company has, as you can see in the 1 year, this one has gone up. It dropped in March like everything else did at the same exact time. But since then, it's continued to go up. So this one is $17.27 a share. But in all honesty, man, like to people invest in gold to leverage themselves from stocks and bonds because gold and stocks and bonds um, they all appreciate and depreciate at different levels, and they don't correlate with each other. So more people that are like older, they'll put some more money into like actual physical gold. um, I don't At your age, there's no need for you to be in gold at all. You don't need to leverage anything. At your age, you should be like 90%, 80% in just regular individual stocks, and then maybe a little bit in like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, like an ETF that follows those, like the VU, SPY, the QQQ. These are different stocks. Uh, if you look at the QQQ, this one, I think, came back. So if you look at the 1 year on this one, it dropped here like everything else did again in March. But then this one is already almost higher than it's ever been. It's like beating everything else back up because this includes Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Google. They're all in this. And those companies are weighted heavily in this index. So when those companies are doing great, this index does great. So the fact that Apple, Amazon, Google, Facebook, they've all flown back up from these March lows, like everything's gone back up. So this is the one that follows the Nasdaq, the QQQ. It's a ETF that follows the Nasdaq. So at your age, you should be like 10% in one of these if you want to be, but like at least 80 to 85% should be in individual stocks that you believe in. Because you could take more risk at your age than somebody who's in their 40s or 50s can. Somebody in their 40s and 50s, they're going to start taking money out of individual stocks, and they need somewhere to put that money. So they start taking that money from individual stocks and putting it into bonds and putting it into gold, because these are two safer places to invest your money into. There is less assets that have less risk. Does that make sense, Brian?
It does, sir.
Yeah.
The only reason
Go ahead.
the only reason I was worried about it is because since everything that's happening right now in the U.S., I was assuming that the stock market would go down again. So I figured if it's going to go down, I know gold goes up with the stock market going down. I figured I should get in on gold before it goes down.
So
that way
you're looking at it the wrong way. So if, let's say the market is going to go down, right? This meeting will end in 10 minutes. So we got 10 minutes and then we could go back to another one if you guys want. But let's say you do believe that the stock market is going to go down. Instead of taking that money and putting it into gold now, hold that money. And when the stock market does go down, now you could buy stocks at a cheaper price instead of spending that money now. Does that make sense? Because
it does, sir.
That $17 in that other stock I showed you, it may go up to $20, right? But if you wait, maybe a stock like, let's say Facebook could go to 200 and then you buy it. And then when the market recovers, it goes to 250, 280, 300. Instead of making a $5 profit, now you're making a $50, $80 profit off of every share that you buy. Because gold doesn't go, it goes up, but it goes up very slowly. You know what? Let me see. So markets. That's the wrong one. Market. It's just taking forever. So futures and commodities. So metals. So here you go. You have, let me see if it actually shows the. So if you look at gold, you could click on here and take an actual close look. The price of gold has even dropped. It was at 1,800 and now it's dropped to 1,748. So this is one place. This is CNBC. So this is where gold is tracked, like gold as a whole. This is where it's tracked. So as you can see, this is from, this is a 1 year time slot. You're going to see this with every commodity. In March, when this happened, everything was selling off. The only thing going up was bonds. Everybody was moving out of all these commodities and throwing that money into bonds. So bonds went up during this time, but was kind of lower in any other time that you look at. So the way bonds look is kind of the opposite of this right here. But yeah, man, it's at 1748. If you see red, that means it's currently dropped. 3.1% is come down. This is a 5-year view of what gold has done. So if you look at gold, it's had this area of resistance at 1357 for a long time, and it finally broke it. So for a long time, it was at a set price. This is from 2016 to now. So until just recent, like less than a year ago, it was at 1634. It wouldn't break that level. You could see the whole history of it. And all through here, it kept hitting that level of resistance that I've mentioned before. Like it has these invisible barriers that the stocks try to break. And for Tesla, that current barrier is $963. If it breaks that, that's the sign for it to zoom up. So again, man, if you do feel that the stock market is going to drop, which is not I'm not telling you it's not, but just have money on the sidelines. That's the smartest thing you can do. Have some money on the sidelines, and then when it drops, that's when you take full advantage of it.
That makes sense, sir.
Yeah, man. If you were older and you felt like, let's say you were in your 50s or you were close to retirement and you felt that the stock market was going to drop, that's when you pull money out of the stocks and you transfer that money into gold or transfer that money into bonds, because you don't want to lose that money. You don't know how long a market could be in a bear market. It could last 4 years. And if you're retiring the next year, you don't want to wait 4 years to get that money because you might need it right away. So that's when you want to pull money out of those assets and pull it into safer, less riskier assets. Does that make sense?
It does, sir.
All right.
I was looking at it as a way of quick profit, but putting all that into perspective, it's really not as much as I could be making from any other stocks.
Yeah, man. You'll make more by being patient and then putting it in when the market is at its lows. That's what I've been doing. I started another fund where I just put money aside that I'm not going to invest anytime soon, and I'm just going to build that up and build it up and build it up. And every time there's a market correction or a crash, that's when I'll use that money, and then I'll start building it up again. Does that make sense?
It does, sir. I've sort of been doing that recently.
Good. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Lee, you got any questions?
I have a question that has to do with a different subject, sir. That's fine.
What's up?
So I remember we spoke about IRA, and you mentioned that like each year we're supposed to put like a minimum amount. It said like $6,000. I was wondering, how does the IRA usually works, sir?
So it's a maximum of 6,000. The government only lets you put. It used to be 5,000 last year. This year they raised it to 6,000. So you have until July 15th to put 6,000 into your IRA. It's not a must. It's not something you have to do. That's just your maximum, because it's a tax deferred account. The government doesn't want you putting everything you have into it, because then no one would ever pay taxes. So this is just a small fund that you can have where for the rest of the life of the IRA, anything you make on it, you won't pay taxes on it. And you can do that on M1 Finance. That's what I did. I started an IRA on M1 Finance. And you can do that as well. Just don't put any money into there that you're going to need, anytime soon. This is an account that you should have for retirement, just like the TSP. Just put it in there and then just watch it grow. Don't mess with it. Leave it alone. But if you want, you can sell on there and buy and sell and buy if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Does that answer your question, Lee? It's 6,000 that you can that max out for last year. For 2019, you have until July 15th to contribute to your 2019 allocation. with a maximum of 6,000. The minimum is 500.
Roger, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. And then even right now, you can contribute to 2020, but your deadline is April 15th of 2021 to contribute to 2020.
And where can I find those? Well, how did you find those due dates, sir?
Is based on when taxes are due. So it was supposed to be April, and it's all on irs.gov if you want more specifics on it. But the reason it moved is because the IRS extended the deadline this year because of the virus. They extended the deadline to July 15th for everybody to submit their taxes, and the IRA, it goes based off of that. So the deadline for 2019 is the deadline for the 2019 submission of taxes. And this year it's July 15th. Next year, I'm assuming it'll go back to normal, which is usually April 15th every year.
Roger that, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. We have a minute.
How are your dividends doing, sir?
Good, man. I have 2 companies right now. I can share them later on. I'm gonna wait till the dividends will be June 7th. I think I receive it. I have like 500 something shares of this one company. I'm not gonna share it right what the company is right now, but